Hey, folks, welcome to episode number 8 of the Rhubarbs Travelers podcast. We are recording this show on Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. I am Blake, and with me, as always, is Damon. How are you, my friend?
I'm tired because you're making me record later than normal.
It's an incredible 5:50 in the evening, folks, just for reference.
But for reference, yesterday, I was in bed at 6:30.
Oh my God. And I was getting ready to make a joke you were going to go to bed in like 10 minutes, but it's true.
Yeah, it's 6:30 yesterday. Everyone was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I think I'm going to bed."
Oh my
For real? Yeah. My schedule's tough because what happens is I have to get up with the dog like twice a night now. She's older. So it's
Yeah.
like I go to bed, I get up at like 1 something. Go to bed, get up at like 5, maybe 4:45. So I'm getting up twice a night every night. Like it kind of doesn't matter how much sleep you get when that happens. It's tough, man.
Right.
It's like having a baby.
Yeah. Do you even go back to sleep after you get up at that 5 o'clock?
You know, today I was like, I knew I had a meeting at 8, so I was like, "Oh, I don't know what to do." So I set an alarm for like 7:57. Sometimes I do, sometimes I'll watch TV. I don't know where Bob's Burgers was my whole life. Like, I always thought it was like, "Oh, I'm never watching that show. It's terrible." I love that show. So
You
I've been playing catch up.
well, the guy who wrote it is the same guy that did Archer, which I love.
I don't like
Archer.
Archer.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I don't like
gosh.
Archer.
I loved
Um, but Bob's Burgers is pretty good. So I've been watching that. So sometimes I'll get up in the morning and watch an episode or two before, I get up.
I've never seen any episodes of Bob's Burgers, so I guess I'm gonna have to start.
It's a tough couple of episode watches in the beginning, but then like once you get cruising, like it's pretty good.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
All right. All right, well, folks, we're going to first send a shout out to our Patreon subscribers. We want to say thank you for being a Patreon subscriber. If you are not one, please consider becoming one. It helps us out tremendously. And as a bonus, you will get our show notes the day before the show releases. That is exclusive to our Patreon subscribers. It's not a lot. It's just $5 a month right now. And Damon and I are working on getting some more benefits included in that. So just be on the lookout. And again, if you would please consider becoming a Patreon subscriber.
So I went and checked. My dues went up $13 a month.
Okay. And this is off of the last show we're talking about. Right?
Yeah, I mean, just in general, for this year. So my dues so that's not all of my points because like I said, I have this split contract with my parents. What is that? I don't know. 270. Doesn't matter. Like my whole thing is like I don't even think about it. Like it's $13 more. Like so everyone like I just don't understand what people complain about. If you can't afford like your dues going up $13-$20 a month, dude, get out. Get out of DVC. Like that's not a big deal. It's not a lot.
It's roughly rate of inflation if you want to think about it that way.
Yeah, exactly. So keep it moving, man. That's what I say.
All right. And speaking of DVC, let's get into some DVC
I
news.
still can't figure this out.
Like, yes. So there was an article that came out that said long-term stays at Disney are now becoming a step closer to reality. And so what this article is about is that it's about Lakeshore Lodge, right? The new DVC property that is coming soon in 2027. And the article says that it's going to be apartment-style living, that Disney World is creating something amazing that will be available to select guests. I'm not exactly sure what select
But is it even true? Like, I mean, this is not an official Disney site. Like, I don't know if this is even true.
Well, all of the artwork that they used in the article was official Disney.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know if I believe this, but I mean, so we'll keep it as a rumor for now, but I mean, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it. I read through that entire article, and I have to be honest, I didn't see anything in the article to me that screamed, "Oh, you could just live here at a month at a time and not ever leave."
I mean, you could do that at any DVC resort when you think about it, right? I mean, people do.
If you have enough points, if you have enough points, you could do it for sure.
And people do. I don't think this is going to be any different. I think we have 430 DVC units. That's what we're going to have. It's going to be the same thing as everyone before. I don't think there's any difference to this. I think
it might be different that it's off It's off the beaten path a little bit, right? It's over there on
I
a
mean,
lake.
okay.
So,
Yeah,
I
I
I
I
again
don't see anything different here. I mean, I think listen, I'm not a fan of being at Disney that long anyway. I watch some of these influencers and I think to myself, like, Disney's not Disney when you're going all the time. It's just for me, it's just not. I wouldn't wanna be in Florida. I wouldn't wanna be living at, a DVC resort for a month. Like, for me, that ruins the experience of Disney as someplace away from my normal life.
right. How long was your longest stay ever continuous at
In Disney or in Florida, right? I think
in
it's
Disney, specifically Disney? You were there only for Disney. What was your longest continuous stay?
maybe I don't even think 9 days. I'm probably just making that up, but I'm gonna say 9 days, I would say. It's between 7 and 9 for
Right.
sure. It's not anything more than that. It's
Well,
just not.
yeah, my our longest was 11. It
And I
was
think
dur
that's, like, on the end of being acceptable for me. I would say, like, 14 would be acceptable, especially if you're coming from far away or from out of the country. But outside of that, like I said, these influencers, like, anything becomes normal if you're doing it all the time. Anything
right.
becomes a job if like
Yeah.
influencers. I mean, it's great for them and I appreciate the information that we get, but to me that just kind of ruins Disney for me. So
Yeah, if you have filet mignon every meal, filet mignon doesn't taste all that great after a while, so
that's what happened to me. So after college, me and my buddy, we were both double majors, 5 years, right?
right.
And we came home and then that summer we're like, gosh, dude, I'm not getting a job until September. And all we did is play tennis every day and eat a steak. And at the end of the summer, I was like, I don't know if I'll ever eat a steak again. And so let's see, I'm 52 now. So how many years is that? 30 years. So 30 years I haven't eaten a steak because I was like, dude, I can't
Wait a
eat
minute, you
steaks
haven't had a
anymore.
steak in 30 years? Literally
Yeah,
not one.
I don't eat red meat anymore. No. That was like that
Wow.
summer did me in. A steak every day. Like
Gosh.
it was crazy talking. We literally have a steak every day and then just like chill out. And I was like, man, I
Oh my
can't do it
gosh.
anymore. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Alright, so anyway, Lakeshore Lodge, it's coming in 2027, so be on the lookout. When it comes time to buy, I would look into this. I always said that I would wanna buy somewhere on a monorail or somewhere close to somewhere some sort of mode of transportation that's easy, but I could maybe get into this
Okay.
if this
I'm gonna
is
probably buy points just to say I have points there, if
yeah,
nothing else.
yeah.
It's got to coincide with my current Riviera being paid off, and then I'll just move on over to another one.
Move
Why
on
not?
over. There we go. Alright, let's go talk about some park news. The closing date for the Aerosmith version of Rock and Roller Coaster has now finally been announced. So if you want to go ride Rock and Roller Coaster while you can still see Steven Tyler, then you're gonna have to go do it by March.
Well, I don't think you can see anyone, can you?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
can't
can't
see
even see
anybody.
him anymore. That's right. So, if you want to just see anything about Aerosmith, you have to go do it by March 1st because that is the last day to ride. The ride will officially be closed on March the 2nd, 2026. So, interesting that the timeline is still saying it is going to reopen in summer of 2026. That gives them 6 months. That seems like an incredibly fast
But
turnaround.
again, as we talk about, they're not really doing that much. It's like an overlay almost, to be honest with you. I think they have to too. So the backstory here is Scooter's uncle, who's a real estate tycoon, which I guess would have been nice to know when, the Muppets are closing their theater all the time
Right,
because they
yeah.
don't have enough money, right? Where was this dude then?
Yeah, no,
Um,
exactly. No
Maybe he
kidding.
just made his money now. So that's fine. So he purchases GeForce Records and puts Scooter in charge. Listen, they better not ever have a storyline about them needing money if this guy can just buy record companies at whim.
Exactly.
So in the pre-show, you're going to board the attraction, help from Muppet Labs in a very, very fast limousine. And again, not anything different. What I do find interesting though, is we are going to get our first The Muppet Show, a new The Muppet Show, February 4th, right?
Right.
So I think this is all lining up to kind of give them a shot at bringing the Muppets back full force,
Yep.
right? Because they say if this, Muppet Show special event, which I believe is Sabrina Carpenter, if I remember correctly, um, So they're coming back to take the stage of the original Muppet Theater, yes, and Sabrina Carpenter. And I think if this all goes well, it's kind of a play to, bring them back big time. We're gonna have the roller coaster, we're gonna have a new show, we're gonna have this, we're gonna have that. So
Right.
interesting take here for sure. I'm a Muppets fan. Again, I think this is more of an overlay to me. I mean, it's not gonna be something unless they're changing track, which they're not. It will be cool, but it's just
Well, they're gonna be adding in some animatronics to the pre-show where,
okay.
before it was just a video. Now
Yeah.
there's gonna I'm sure there'll still be some sort of video in there, but they will be adding Scooter is gonna be an animatronic, and I believe they said they were gonna have some penguins in there too, because it's
Okay.
the Muppets and you gotta have penguins, right?
Of course.
And there's gonna be Benson Honeydew and Beaker are gonna be there because they talk about Muppet Labs, so they're gonna make an appearance at some point.
They are some of my favorites.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Disney is making a $1 billion, as Dr. Evil would say, $1 billion investment into OpenAI. So the folks behind ChatGPT.
I could have a whole three-part episode just about this alone. You know
Folks, this is Damon's wheelhouse right here. So I
yeah,
expect him to go off on this thing.
and not even go off. I think the problem that this is that okay, so they've invested in OpenAI, and they're gonna allow licensing of Disney characters, right? It's gonna be on Sora and OpenAI video generation. Cool, but what y you know I don't love monopolies of any type except the board game, and I think what's happening here is, from are they sending cease and desist letters to other companies?
Yes,
You
they
know
are. I was reading about that. They are sending cease and
Yeah,
desist.
so the question, is now is like, well, what does this mean? If I want to do something Disney oriented that I have to then go to a specific AI platform? I don't love that. I don't.
I
And it
well,
said
so to give
voices are not gonna be included.
yeah,
So now I have a video with Kermit, but no Kermit voice. That's tough. Like,
yeah,
I get why they invested in it, and again, there's a lot of tangents and a lot of ways that this could go. I mean, we're talking about just non-commercial generation for fun or for something else, but in theory, could be talking about commercial generation. We're going listen. No matter what people think, we're going to get to a world where there's going to be, especially in animation, there's going to be movies that are fully generated with AI and maybe
right,
tweaked after the fact, but it's going to happen. Like, you can't stop that no matter how much people want to. It's just not the case anymore. So, is this going to be something that Disney uses as a tool? Maybe. You know, I'm not sure, but gosh, it just makes it tough to do things somewhere else now, and I just don't think that should be the case, especially on something called OpenAI, right? Like, at the end of the
right,
day, right? It should be something where, I shouldn't have to worry about what platform I'm on
right. Well,
for creation of characters.
so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So my company just released its own Chat GPT, right? So it's through OpenAI, but it is I don't want to say it's a walled off garden, if you understand what I'm saying there. We can use it. We don't have to worry about certain things like blinding clients' names. It's a safe space. So where I'm going with this is, do you think Disney will do the same thing where if we want to make a video using their characters, they say, "Okay, you could do that, but you have to come to our specific GPT area to do that. You can't just
No.
go out in the wild and do it. You have to use ours because we can control what's being made, we can control how it's being used,
I don't
etcetera."
think so because they're saying they're gonna make them available on Sora and OpenAI, so I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, it's possible, right? I mean, you could do that, but I don't think that's what we're talking about here because no one wants to run we already have RAM problems, we already have, GPU problems. No one wants to run their own back end at the end of the day. That's the
Right.
problem, right? Because that's where
Yeah.
the money is, and that's where the problem is in moving forward with AI. So I don't think so. Like I said, I mean, for me, I just worry about other platforms and what that means to some of the big players. I don't want to be in this game where, oh, I could go here for Disney. I could go here for DC characters.
Yeah,
I got to go here for this. I got to go here for that. That's too much.
yeah,
But
it's
it
like
could,
streaming platforms
yeah,
at that point.
it could be what happens. But again, the people that think that this is not going to move forward with creation of animation, they're just, it's not the case. It's going to happen. No matter how hard we try to stop it, it's going to happen. And, that may mean that we get movies quicker,
That's
right?
exactly what I was thinking. Like, this is definitely gonna make it more efficient to make movies, for
But
sure.
and cheaper, right? And
Right.
then the question becomes like, how many Toy Stories do I need? Just because I can make another Toy Story, you know, what do I need? But I'll tell you, I think a lot of what, my personal time with, you know, OpenAI or Gemini consists of is writing of different endings or different episodes to shows. And it does a darn good job. Like, I get it's predictive. I get that, like, all you're doing is putting one word after the other. But gosh, have I created some really good Seinfeld episodes? Have I created some, really good different endings to Amphibia or, anything like that? I mean, that's a lot of where my leisure AI time is spent these days. So I tell you, I had a really good Seinfeld episode. I mean, gosh, I felt like it could have slotted it right in.
So you wait a minute, so you literally created a Seinfeld episode using the existing characters, and you just went into, what was it, Gemini or whatever, and just said,
I happened to be in Gemini. Yeah, I had some, I had an idea.
"Uh-huh."
And yeah, it fleshed out the idea to a full episode, characters and everything. And it was so funny that I was reading it to my wife in the car because I was doing it while we were driving somewhere. And like we were laughing so hard and it was really good. So yeah, I mean, it's good
Okay.
at that. So we'll
So
see.
it was just a script, right? It wasn't like the entire video. Sorry, I thought you meant like you had
No,
made
no, no, no,
a
not a
video.
video.
Okay.
No, 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 no. We're
Okay.
just talking about a script.
Okay. All right. Okay, so well, since we're talking about making movies, next on the list, if you are a Hallmark Christmas movie
Oh,
fan,
I'm not, but my wife seems to be. So
yeah, well, they've got something for you now. So, Disney, if you've been looking at the news, there have been reports of a movie being filmed at Disney World, and it was confirmed that Hallmark is making a Christmas movie. Now, it's not going to be released until December of 2026, so we
okay.
have an entire year to wait for that. It's going to be called Holiday Ever After, a Disney World Wish Come True. And here is the plot. Stop me if you've heard this before, right? In the film, Lindsay and her extended family head to Walt Disney World to spend a magical Christmas together, but the dream of a jolly holiday quickly unravels when Lindsay discovers her room is right next to Philip, a disastrous first date she recently endured, who is also there on a family trip. And I'm sure hilarity ensues.
Okay. I don't think that's one that I need to catch, but
Yeah, I think I will probably skip that one unless my wife, the queen, commands that I watch it with her. So we'll see. I don't know.
yeah.
All right, folks, it is time for a word from our sponsor. We'd like to welcome our inaugural sponsor to the show, Don'tResistTheTravel.com. Folks, vacation travel should be exciting, memorable, and most importantly, completely stress-free. Ha! Right. However, as we all know, planning that perfect trip for you and your family can be anything but that. And that's where the folks at Don't Resist the Travel come in and save the day. Whether you're traveling with your family and want a vacation that's fun, effortless, and full of memories, or you're looking for a luxury escape with VIP experiences, private tours, and hand-picked resorts, the folks at Don't Resist the Travel handle every detail just for you. When you work with Don't Resist the Travel, you don't just book a trip, you build an experience that's truly tailored to your personal needs. So don't resist. You know you want to travel. Visit Don'tResistTheTravel.com and start planning your next unforgettable getaway today. And make sure to let them know the guys at Rhubarb Travelers podcast sent you. That's don'tresistthetravel.com. Okay, moving on. Disney is starting to play hardball with merchandise resellers. All right, so here's the story. If you're aware, there are a couple of outlet stores, for lack of a better term, down in Orlando. One is called the Disney Character Warehouse. The other is called Cast Connection.
So this isn't something that's happening in the parks then? This is
No,
just in these stores right now?
just in these.
I wish it would happen in the parks.
Yeah, me too. So Disney Character Warehouse, that's at the outlet store in Orlando. I don't know what the name of that outlet complex is, but anybody can go into that, and it has merchandise that has been discontinued. It usually has a lot of holiday merchandise. When the holiday passes, they send it on to that. The Cast Connection store is for cast members only. Think of it kind of like a Costco or a warehouse club just for cast members, where they can go in and they can get merchandise. They have access to whenever DVC does a soft refurb, and they have all of this furniture and house goods that they don't need anymore in the resort. They'll take it to the Cast Connection, and cast members have first dibs on being able to purchase these things at a discount. Now, the cast member can also bring in a guest. So here is what's happening. People are coming in and just buying all of these items in mass. They are taking them home, and then they're listing them on eBay for inflated prices to make a profit. Well, here's the rub. Now it's going to be up until February 1st, 2026. They will be able to take those items back to the store if they don't sell them to get a full refund.
And that's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yes, that is going to change on February 1st. And on February 1st, both the Disney Character Warehouse and Cast Connection stores, they're going to be instituting a no returns, no exchanges, no refunds, no exceptions.
And that hurts the regular person, though. See, this is another area where these resellers just hurt other people, because now if something isn't your size, you're not returning it. Like if you
Right.
miss that, like, oh, it had a hole in it. Oh well.
Right. And
That sucks.
Disney is doing this because essentially these resellers have a zero risk business, right? They go buy all that stuff, they try to sell it on eBay, and just before the 30 or 60 day or whatever the return limit is, they take it all back and get a full refund. That is
Yeah, I
not
mean
happening anymore.
that's a lot of time for the people that have to return those items in the stores too. So
Exactly.
yeah.
That is part of the reason they are doing it, is because cast members were having to spend so much time processing all of those returns. So now what's going to happen is if you buy it, it is yours. So if you do go there, and there's nothing wrong going there. I've actually been
No,
there.
but there still is something wrong with buying 50 of something. So yes, it is more risky, but if you think you're good at what you do and you go, well, that's definitely going to sell, you can still buy 100 of them. You're just,
Right.
well, I can't return them, so I better make sure I sell X amount of items. So
Exactly.
I don't love this. I think there's better ways to do this.
It is quite the broad hammer stroke for
And I
sure.
don't know if it necessarily solves the problem, because again, I can still buy 100 of them. It's just there's more risk for me. Okay,
Right.
but what if I'm good at it?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So anyway, if you are planning to go buy things now at the Disney Character Warehouse or Cast Connection, just please make sure you look over it. Make sure there's nothing wrong with it. Make sure if it's clothing, make sure it fits if you have the ability to try it on. Because starting February 1, you will not be able to take it back for a return or refund. All right, after show time. One and only item on our after show, and this is really kind of cool. Big item here. Legoland. There is a Legoland in Germany called Legoland Deutschland, and they have just announced today that they are building a Harry Potter land within their Legoland facility there. They're
Which is
gonna up
awesome.
It's gonna be awesome. They are, doing this in partnership with Warner Brothers and Merlin Entertainment. They are a big name in the entertainment industry as far as things like this. The land is going to be entirely in brick form. That's going to be interesting for sure. And for the first time ever, and here's the biggie, there is going to be a Harry Potter themed hotel slash resort on the grounds.
It made me come back to the why haven't they done this at Universal in
I
Florida?
know.
I just I feel like it would be so fitting. Like
If oh
I
gosh.
think it would be honestly, if you did Epic Universe and the next thing you announced was a full blown all four houses in a hotel,
Oh
like
my
I
gosh.
think you would crush Disney at that point. Like I think people would
I
I
I
don't know
didn't
what would happen.
I didn't even think about that. Man, you could have 4 hotels exactly like you just said, one theme to each house. Man,
I think the only thing you worry about there is, right, do people skew to a specific theme? Like, that's the only downside to doing that. I think you create them all in one hotel, I think kind of alleviates that somewhat.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, that would be my only thing. I mean, gosh, the best thing in the world would be is that if you went in, got sorted, and then got your room based on your
Oh, and
sorting.
then you got your
I
room.
mean, that
Oh
would be
my
crazy. I mean, that's not feasible, but I think the feasibility of creating this hotel, I think would I understand there's this bad taste from the Star Wars hotel. I get it. But I just think that Harry Potter appeals to a different demographic and age range, and I think that it would work, and
yeah.
I would be absolutely impressed. Again, for me, the best news in the world would be is that, "Hey, we're doing a, DVC Universal, and the first hotel is gonna be Harry Potter." I mean, I just feel like that's just such money making right there, but I
I
don't know.
would you put it see, I think that would work if you'd put it right next to either one of the Harry Potter lands that, exist at Orlando right now. So that way you could literally walk out your hotel and you're there at Hogsmeade
I don't
or
even know if it needs to happen like that. I mean, if you build this hotel, like, and it was funny. So again, we talk about this AI stuff, right? So for me, I'm looking forward to what HBO and Max are going to do with the new Harry Potter series.
right,
But at the end of the day, I'm a big like, hey, I already know what's going to happen, right? So I had this debate. So we were talking about Impossible Creatures, right? Reading it because Disney bought it and all that. I'm
right.
almost done with it. It's okay. But it's not a Harry Potter because, or even a Stranger Things. There's just this cultural phenomenon that goes along with shows like that. So, okay, so new Harry Potter's coming out. I do understand that it's going to be, something that people watch. I get it, but it is the same old story at the end of the day. So I was like, I wonder what I'd like to see in terms of a new Harry Potter series on HBO that focused on something different. And then Gemini wrote me up a story and a script, right? And we were in Japan and we were at the wizarding school in Japan, which I didn't even know existed until my wife was like, well, that doesn't exist. I was like, I kind of think it might. And I went back and yeah, it does. Like it is mentioned. It is canon in, the Harry Potter
Interesting.
universe. So the story was phenomenal, by the way, too. It was about this, guy that was, I don't even want to ruin it because maybe I use it somewhere. But anyway, I think that if we did something like that, you wouldn't have to go. You wouldn't have to make the Star Wars hotel. You get what I'm saying? Like you could create a Harry Potter hotel that exists within a different wizarding school, and it would still do extremely well. And then you wouldn't be attached to all of the things that maybe you don't want to do.
Such a wait a minute, when you say things you don't wanna do, what do you
Well, because, you don't wanna create, like, this whole, like, I only wanna go to this house because this is the house that I know from Harry Potter. I only wanna do this,
Oh, okay.
you eliminate that if you create something in, the Japan Wizarding School or one of the other. I think there's 11? I don't know. My daughter is very well versed in Harry Potter, and she knew a lot more than I did. But, yeah, like, I think that you could do something like that, and I would be on board with that as well.
Right. So there aren't a lot of details that have been released yet about this new resort, but it did say that we should hear something within the next 12 months. So with as far as details. So be on the lookout for that. Who knows? Maybe Damon, we could head to Deutschland and
There you go.
go to Legoland then. All right, folks, that is going to do it for this show. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Don't Resist the Travel.com. please go visit them and let them handle every detail in creating and planning your next getaway. And as always, it does not have to be to Disney, does not have to be to Universal. It can be to anywhere. They will handle your travel. Please listen to us on all of the podcast streaming services and rate us. We love 5-star ratings on Apple Podcasts. Just give the 5-star, and then you can say whatever you want to in the comments. But please go there and do that. Look us up on our Facebook group, Rhubarb Travelers, and connect with us there. We have a growing group. We'd love to make it bigger. So please head on over there and follow us on Facebook. If you have a question for us, we'd love to answer questions. Reach us. Our email is rhubarbtravelerspodcast@gmail.com. Shoot us an email. We would love to discuss it. If you are, go ahead.
And I was gonna say, like, yeah, I mean, if you want to discuss, Blake's performance this week, as a bell ringing,
I
please
know, and you
let
didn't.
us know. I'm more than happy
You know
to.
what? Let me get through this and we'll talk about it. All right. So we're also on Patreon, like we said earlier. Please join us on Patreon and consider becoming a subscriber. And then, of course, we are on all the socials: Twitter, X, Instagram, Facebook. Go.
Yeah, don't let him lie to you. We're really not on X. We're on the other two though. Um, so for the future for 2026, just remember the rhubarb duck that will be coming,
Okay.
and then I guess the rhubarb cipher. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Bill cipher. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. I'm excited for some things in the next year. Again, this year kind of got me towards the end with a lot of other things that I had to do. Finishing up with Christmas was a lot more than I thought, but be prepared for some fun things in the next year on our socials. So yeah, so back to Blake's thing. So Blake was able to talk me and my wife in to come to, I guess, his ringing.
Right. So let me give some backstory here. So if you have looked at our website, in my bio, it lists that I am part of a performing group in Raleigh, North Carolina called the Raleigh Ringers, and we
And
are.
let's be honest, I thought that it was like a nothing. I
You
thought they were.
no, you
I was
did.
like,
No, you did.
I
Yeah.
was like, dude, Raleigh Ringers, whatever. This seems so like so south ringing. Like I just wasn't like I was just like whatever.
Yes.
God.
So we are a community handbell ensemble, and handbell is literally what it sounds like. It is a bell that you hold in your hand and you ring them, and they're all different pitches, right? And so we play all types of music. Now, generally, you find them in churches, but there are community groups that play all types of music, and we're one of them. Right?
And it was funny because once I was like, so Blake was like, all right, I'm gonna send you tickets, and I'm figuring whatever. And he's like, oh, here's the Ticketmaster link. And then I was like, oh, I guess maybe this is kind of a big deal. Maybe. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know.
Damon was expecting me to hand him like some sort of handwritten ticket. No, he
I
didn't.
know what.
Yeah.
Tell the guy at the front desk I got 3 tickets for you.
Yeah, so we performed at the Symphony Hall in Raleigh, where the North
It
Carolina
was
Symphony.
very nice, by the way. I've
It
never
is
been there before. It was very nice.
it is a very nice facility, and so we play the entire concert, right? And the next day, Damon sends me this text, right? And it's a screenshot of a conversation he had with a friend
Yeah, so when
back.
I was doing the Netflix podcast, one of my friends from New Jersey, she is also a bell ringer as well, and their group also travels the country, right?
Right.
And, she had the reason this all kinda came up and it reminded me of it, she was like, "Hey, does anyone know of a location in Charlotte that" because we're looking to finish a tour up and we need some place in Charlotte. And I sent her, instead of replying to that on Facebook, I just texted her, was like, "Hey, I'm not sure, but I have a friend that's in the Raleigh Ringers, like, I can ask him if you really can't find any place. Like, I'm not in Charlotte, so I don't know, but, if you decide to come to Raleigh, I'd also, maybe be able to give you more insight." And then so I just off the cuff, I was just kinda like, "Yeah, so, are the Raleigh Ringers, kind of a big deal?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah, it's Raleigh Ringers this, Raleigh Ringers that. That's all people talk about in the community is these Raleigh Ringers." And I'm like, "Okay." So there
Well,
we are.
yeah, so we
Wait, has
we
anyone ever been cut?
uh yes. In
Okay.
fact, I'll tell you a quick story. My very first year in the group.
Did you get cut?
No, I did not get cut.
Oh.
But we made it so the way our group works, so we start in January and go through December, right? And so it's a 1-year commitment, and everybody has to try out every single year. No one gets a free pass, right? So my first year in the group, I had tried out. There were 3 new people, me and 2 other people. And at the end of our summer tour, which is this long week-long tour that we take, one person was told not to come back. So, yes, people do get cut.
It just, the only thing, I mean, it was very nice and it was very festive and definitely brought us into the holiday season. The only thing for me is it seems like a job. Like, I looked at the amount of times you're away and I'm like, dude, there's no way. And how often do you practice a week? I think that was the first question my wife had. Like, well, how often do you practice every week?
So we practice once a week. It usually lasts around, we start at 7:00 and we're usually leaving our building at about 10:45.
Oh, heck no.
Or 11:00.
Yeah, no way.
And it's 100, like Damon said, it's 100% volunteer. Every single person that does it is a volunteer. We don't get paid to play. It's just something we love to do.
Yeah, it was very nice, but you wouldn't catch me bell ringing like that for that amount of time. That's for sure.
It is a commitment. So, folks, if you are interested after hearing this, please go to www.rr.org. RR standing for Raleigh Ringers, and just go check us out.
That's a pretty impressive URL.
Yeah, it's we had a website, gosh, starting back in the early 2000s, like around 2000 or 2001. So
yeah,
we had a pretty big pick of all of the web addresses.
Yeah, there you go.
So anyway, head on over to rr.org, look us up. You can go to YouTube and look up the Raleigh Ringers, and you'll see lots of videos.
And Merry Christmas, right? Because we don't do another episode till after Christmas.
That's right. So Merry Christmas, everyone. It will be Christmas almost in a week.
Until a good night. Yeah.
All the good night. We will see you in the new year. So, Damon, until then, see you later.
Sounds good.
Folks, the Rhubarb Travelers podcast is for entertainment purposes only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company or NBC Universal, the parent company of Universal Studios. And as such, all opinions expressed on the show are exclusively our own. Please consult a DVC or Disney cast member or Universal team member for more information about anything we might have talked about today.
This is not
happening. No, this is not, but this is about the
where
they have out at the
okay.
All right.
Like I said, I wish it was for the park too, but go ahead, let's talk about it.
All right. Let me start over then.
No. Why are we starting over?
No, I
that
thought
was
you
part
were...
of the banter.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were like correcting me. Sorry.
No.
Okay. All right.
I guess we're starting over now.
We're going to start over now for sure. I'm going to add this in as a blooper at the end. Right.